I was like, I'm like, what do you mean? Like,
And you were the one that was making fun at the very beginning, being like, it's not that complicated, because he was like, she didn't write the intro in here, and you're like, yeah, just introduce us, and you're like, follow us on Facebook, we have an Instagram.
It wasn't that hard, but for me, it was very, very hard.
Oh,
Like, I literally was like, I don't know what she says.
Yeah, I've never listened to.
Did I make fun of it? I don't remember that part.
All of you guys made fun of
Probably.
I'm
it.
very selective on what I remember. Very selective memory.
Okay, well, hi, and welcome to the Y'all Ain't Right podcast. I'm Brittany. I'm here with Tyler and Todd today. Nick is not with us today. He is out on a job site for us, so...
He's actually doing work.
Yeah.
Somebody has to work today because the three of us are not.
Not. We're barely functioning.
Yeah, we're just barely holding it together today. Well, obviously the Olympics are happening, the Summer Olympics.
USA.
You know who's in the lead right now?
USA.
Oh, yeah.
Are we up on gold? I've not, for a while there, we were like second or third with golds.
Yeah, we were.
But winning the total. I think China or France was beating us in gold for a little bit.
Yeah, so right now it's us and China have the same amount of gold medals.
Okay,
It's
cool.
21 gold medals, and then we have quite a bit more in the silver and the bronze.
We should, like, with track and field really going now, we should definitely take that over anytime now.
What are some of the events that are left?
I'm not 100% sure. I know some of the track stuff, I think the finals tonight are maybe 200-meter finals tonight, and we have the favorite in that. So probably some of those longer races, because I think we already did the 100-meter final last night or the night before. I've been keeping track a little bit. I didn't watch it much last night. And then maybe some more. I think gymnastics is over.
I think so. I've been catching some of that.
Yeah, I watched it a little bit last night with I think the floor routine finals were yesterday, and the balance beam maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Might have been the night before.
Sure.
Looking at me for confirmation. I'm not 100% sure. And it's weird because I don't know what the time difference is now, so a lot of that's happening in the afternoon, and we catch it later on. So and I keep seeing spoilers on the news and like, crap.
Yeah, I've not really seen much, honestly. I've just watched clips here and there. I've never been one to like tune in and actually make an effort to watch through the Olympics. But there's so many events too. Like, you've got so much to see, and there's not one particular thing that I want to see over another. So it's like, if it's on, it's on. I don't.
Yeah, I can go. I have the Fire Stick or whatever, and I have all the Olympic stuff, but I don't even get into that because I think those are like every single channel is something different. But whereas, NBC kind of scrolls through it, but like I didn't get to see any of the golf. I wish I would have watched that. USA won. And some of the other stuff that had some drama or some interesting stuff. The Czechoslovakian that won the shooting, he was pretty wild. Like, no special equipment. Now, no one mentioned he's part of a team. It was a male-female, and they won the silver or whatever they won. But his partner, I don't think, wears any special optic. A lot of more blockers and stuff like that, too. But she didn't get any attention. He got it all just because.
Maybe it's because he had, like, a hand in the pocket,
Jason Bourne.
No facial expressions.
They both had the same stance.
Yeah.
Did you
Really?
see that? I think it was Turkey. They're from Turkey.
Is it Turkey?
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere.
Yeah,
Middle
I
Eastern.
did end up seeing pictures where it was like you saw him and then you saw him and her together, but for most of the competition they weren't standing right next to each other.
Yeah.
And it's funny because there was something that was like the Asian media has really like honed in on the female being there, and the Western media has been, look at this guy who's like an assassin.
Yeah. With his cat.
Yeah.
Divorced.
Yeah. They're like, he's a regular guy. He just happens to like cats, and then here's the cat.
Yeah.
The memes and stuff out of this Olympics.
Oh,
has
yeah.
been, that's the only reason that I want to watch, is for all the entertainment.
Yeah, Todd has definitely latched onto that shooter meme. Was there another one?
There was the one where he was in the what was the movie? Royale and Big Mac. I can't remember what it was.
I have no idea what it's
Well,
talking
that was a
about.
movie with. I can't remember what it was, but they cropped him into the movie theater with the guns. I can't remember what movie it was.
Nick's usually better to pick up about what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know. So I need someone here to decipher
To
what I'm trying to
translate.
talk about. Yeah. Dang it.
If I saw the meme, maybe I could, but I don't.
Royale with cheese.
I
Yeah,
know
you blow it up on those Facebook memes.
you and Nick talked about that movie on a different podcast episode, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I can't remember now what it is off the top of my head. It'll come halfway through.
So do you know when the first Olympic Games were?
But I know it was Athens, but not sure what year.
Are you talking about outside of the ancient Olympic Games, not the Greek ones?
Either one.
No. No.
So the first Olympic Games, it was in Olympia, Greece. It was 776 BC. And I was like, I have absolutely no idea where to put that on time frame. So I looked it up. It was 2,800 years ago.
I was there for that.
Yeah.
It ran for 1,200 years. They did it every 4 years. And then it was banned by a Roman Christian emperor. Like, imagine being that dude that's like, yeah, after 12,000 years.
Somebody's got to ruin everything.
Yeah.
Well, the original Olympic Games were pretty hardcore,
Oh,
and it was also very pagan in nature, and most of the athletes were naked. So, yeah.
I can get behind that.
Yeah, it was a religious festival to honor Zeus, but women were not allowed to attend.
Oh yeah, so you're just gonna get behind
Never
the
mind, I'm not
entire
gonna
naked guys.
I'm out.
Yeah, they couldn't compete, but they also couldn't attend, which I thought was wild.
Yeah,
But
that's weird.
they were allowed to compete in the chariot racing,
That's
That's
interesting.
weird.
and that was it.
Probably because it was really dangerous.
Probably.
Here you go. Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm not behind that.
But then it restarted back in 1896 when Todd was born in Athens. And that first year, women weren't able to compete, but then it was the following year that. So it's kind of, or not year, following Olympics 4 years later, but it's kind of weird that they're like, oh, yeah, you can't be part of it. And then all of a sudden, like 4 years later, they're like, yeah, come on.
That's still surprising because even back then, women being involved in things was still pretty not the norm.
Yeah, they probably still couldn't, like, own property. I mean, definitely couldn't vote, like, in the United States.
In the U.S., until the 70s, a woman couldn't even have their own bank account. So,
Well, they couldn't get a loan until the 90s.
yeah, it's
A
crazy.
business
Oh,
loan.
wow.
A business loan. Yeah, I just saw that fact the other day.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't end up married.
Not sure how to take that. What year did the Winter Olympics start?
I didn't know that was a different thing.
Yeah, they're 4 years.
Oh,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
because they didn't have, I mean, ancient Greece didn't have snow.
You know, I never thought of that.
Yeah, and the timing wouldn't have made sense because they do for them, it was, like you said, it was the honoring Zeus thing.
Yeah.
All of their stuff was very, very seasonal. Like summer solstice was really important, and winter solstice for other reasons, and they all had different festivals for everything.
Okay, it was 1924 in France.
Cool.
Earlier than I thought.
Yeah, same here. Was that your neck that cracked?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Holy
What? I didn't hear it.
I heard it.
So what's your favorite event to watch on the Summer Olympics? You have to I know you're like, oh, I don't really want. You have to have a favorite.
I like watching the swimming competition just because swimming is fun to watch for whatever reason. And then I like the javelin throw. That's always really cool. I don't know. I'm just like, somebody's going to be downstream and get speared one of these days. But I always thought that was fun to watch.
I kind of like the mid-range races, like the 400 and the 800 meter, because they're basically longer sprints, and then someone's always like in the lead, and then someone just kind of, either surges from behind or almost surges from behind and passes them up and stuff like that. So I kind of like that one because it's, it's not a 10-second and done. You can't really tell who won and stuff like that. I like those ones because it's a little bit more drama and stuff like that. Like the longer race when with the Ledecky when she did the 1500 meter, and it was a little more drama building up and stuff like that. Even though she had a big lead, but somebody was starting to come up from behind a little bit. Would she hold on? So, I like that one.
Yeah, I don't want to watch the stuff that's just boring. Like, to me, if there's not something, which I guess javelin throw is not really, but for me, it's like, oh, they're throwing the spear, But back then, it probably was a spear when they started, if they did javelin throw back in Greece. But
Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't like necessarily sit down and watch it, but especially when I was working in a restaurant and there's like a TV running in the bar and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I really enjoyed watching it, and I don't know, it's hard for me to narrow down to what I like, because I really liked watching Micheal Phelps when he was swimming, because he was just,
Yeah.
I mean, it was crazy.
He's a freaking dolphin.
Yeah, and obviously the running, I find that interesting, but volleyball and
I do like the volleyball. Volleyball's fun to watch.
table tennis cracks me up.
Those guys are hardcore.
Yeah, I love it.
Couldn't do it.
Speed walking.
That's a thing.
It is a thing. I don't know how it's different from running. I think they have to have heel to foot or something. They can't be in the air or something. There's some rule. I'm not 100% sure how it's supposed to be, but it is a thing.
It's heel to toe, probably. There's got to be pretty strict rules. I don't know. All that stuff is so heavily regulated. I just like all of the drama around the Olympics.
There's always some, and always someone you would never expect comes out of nowhere to be the darling, whether they failed miserably or just came out of nowhere and did really good and stuff like that. I remember the Winter Olympics one year, one of the ski jumpers had Coke bottle glasses from Britain and wasn't doing great, but he became the media darling for everyone and stuff like that. So it's always interesting to see who comes out of nowhere just to catch everyone's eye.
Yeah, the underdog story is always fun too, because they'll follow that pretty hard, and you get to see this is where they come from, this is where they are now, and they won a gold or silver or whatever it is, and nobody anticipated that, and that's really fun to see when you see things like that. I think everybody likes the underdog story.
Yeah,
that's
tugs at the old heartstrings.
Yeah, every now and then,
You do have a heart, Tyler.
Barely. It's every now and then I'll feel a tick in there.
Yeah, I think it'd be kind of hard to not end up with controversy having so many different countries and cultures.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're gonna.
Well, that's what's amazing to watch the gymnastics of lately. They were all getting along on the sidelines, hugging and stuff like that. Whereas it seemed like back in the day, whenever we hated Russia and and all those Eastern Bloc countries, they were always more stoic. But they never, was it last night or the night before on the podium? The USA girls kind of just bowed and gave nod to the girl that won the gold medal and stuff like that, where that would have never happened in the past. And they're always hugging on and high-fiving the competition and stuff like that. Even within teams, I feel like there's a lot of good camaraderie with that. I guess it feels nice, instead of just, you're the enemy.
Yeah.
Well, I saw the North Korea and South Korea were taking selfies together.
Yeah, someone's you need to check on them when they get back, because they're gonna get.
Yeah, I was like, well, that's really cool, but that's the first thing I thought too.
They're gonna be in trouble when they get home, or they might just get on the wrong bus and go to South Korea.
Yeah, we're not going home.
Oh, geez. Honestly, I like most of it, but I will say the professional kind of sports that they do, like basketball and stuff like that, I don't know. I find that pretty boring. I'm not into that.
And you can see that anytime. That's not it's not anything unusual or new that you don't get to see all the time. So that's, I don't even know why they have a place in the Olympics, to be honest.
I mean, they're almost all professionals now with NIL and stuff like that for the college athletes and stuff like that. So, and a lot of them are, truly amateurs and stuff like that. But, there's money out there now. I mean, that was probably a natural evolution probably to happen. But, those guys are all professional. I don't even think there's any college guys. They used to take a couple of college guys on the basketball teams and stuff like that. I don't think they do anymore.
I mean, if I actually followed basketball, it might be a little interesting to see some players from different teams working
Playing
together.
yeah. I mean,
but
that would be interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I think they're in, I don't know, whatever it's league play or whatever they call it. I think that's going to start ramping up now. I think you'll start seeing it on TV this week coming up.
Yeah. Do you know what event the past UT alumni is in?
There's several swimmers,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's some track. There's always been some runners, couple. What else we got? I don't know any rowers. Did I hit it? Was that right?
Yeah, I knew about Erica Cannoli.
Track or
Swimming.
Swimming, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a couple track guys. I think we have 32 Tennesseans in the Olympics or UT. I think we're like the third college number wise. I think UCLA and one of the other California colleges has more athletes now, former or current.
Mm-hmm.
It's always cool when you see the locals.
Yeah.
Like when we had a girl I graduated with was in the Olympics, and she, like, the town visitor center, like, had a banner with her name on it, and it's for small towns and stuff.
yeah.
It's huge.
That's really cool. What event?
I think she was a swimmer too.
Okay.
Yeah. Joanna Buckskimper was her name. Yeah. She actually ended up marrying a good friend of mine. So it's funny because we all went to high school together, graduated same class, and I would have never put those two together. But they ended up, yeah. So, but they're good. They're both pretty good folks. So,
Yeah.
I talk to them occasionally.
It's probably good you said that they were good folks.
Yeah, I mean, I've known them both for a long time. Me and Joanna were not as close, but her husband and I were pretty close earlier years of high school.
Do you know when the next time the United States is going to host the
we're
Olympics?
I think we're next 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Los Angeles?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know they picked a place yet.
Yeah. I don't know how far ahead they pick, because you got to get the venues and everything. It's some, like Salt Lake City and stuff like that, and Lake Placid are inset. And was the last summer time we had summer, was it in Los Angeles
I was
also?
thinking it
Or
was.
Atlanta. We had Atlanta in the 80s.
Atlanta was 1996.
96,
That was the
okay.
last time that it was like super close to here.
Yeah, and they had that little bombing incident.
The year after I was born.
I remember watching it when yeah, never mind. That's showing my age.
I remember watching it at the bar.
I think, it might have been.
Probably.
I was at least in college. Yeah, I was probably at the bar.
Do you remember the big hype around like Micheal Phelps?
Yeah.
Racing a shark.
Oh, no, I don't remember. Well, was that like, what was that on?
Discovery.
Was it on? No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, I don't either.
I thought maybe it was one of those
Really?
made for TV, not Battle of the Network Stars. You guys probably don't remember those ones.
Was that something that was in the TV Guide? Or?
Yeah, it wasn't a TV guy. They used to have I don't know if it was different channels would all have a team, and they would do swimming, they would do races, obstacle course, and stuff like that. And like Farrah Fawcett and Lee Majors would be on a team and stuff like that. And it was pretty interesting. And it was half-hearted and semi, competitive and stuff like that. But never mind. That's
Farrah
definitely
Fawcett.
showing my age.
I was like, you
Cheryl
lost
T.
me,
It was all they'd be
Back
in the
when
swimming
Betty White
event.
was in her prime.
Betty White was always in her prime.
That's true. Me and Betty White share a birthday.
Do you? That's a good one to share a birthday with.
Mm-hmm.
I still can't believe she was like 2 weeks away from her 100th birthday. It's crazy.
Yeah. We have very similar personalities, I would say.
Spicy.
Okay, so do you know how high Simone Biles' jump is? Have you heard this?
I've seen, I saw the stats the other day, and they were showing like a slow-mo video and stuff like that, but I can't remember exactly what the height. It's over 10 feet? 9
Oh,
feet?
yeah. It's 12 feet.
That's crazy.
God.
From the top of her head to the ground, it's 12 feet. And she was like doing a split. They were like, yeah, someone who's like 7'4", they're like, she could clear jump over
That's
him.
crazy.
Yeah.
And she's 4'8".
Yeah.
God. So to be so small and have that big of, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, how much spring is in the floor routine mat?
I mean, they're
I'm curious.
pretty. Obviously, I don't know anything about the
Right.
Olympic mats, but I did take gymnastics.
Can we get your mother to get us a video?
I did. So I did I did a lot of random things, and it's funny because I've said my mom was like, "Well, we're gonna stop doing pageants because you don't have a talent," and I'm like, "Well, cool."
Nothing like your family being honest with
Oh,
you.
gosh.
It's too bad I wasn't like, "Mom, just give me a comedy set. Let me get up there and just be kind of like Miss Congeniality, just playing with the cups,
Working
like
the-
making music."
Work in the room.
Yeah.
So what do you do?
But no, I did like ballet, and then I did gymnastics, and they're pretty springy floors. And
I feel like now they're extra springy.
maybe whenever I go, like if you go rock climbing at an indoor gym or something,
You're
guys,
asking the wrong
come on.
person.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like heights, though, so it's not about the physical thing. I just, anything a couple feet off the ground and higher, I don't want part
I'm
of that.
260 pounds. There's probably a weight limit on the person holding the rope against me would have to be
Well,
pretty damn big.
I'm afraid of heights too, so that's part of the reason why I would do it, was to try and get over that. And there's the one where you can climb up with the rope, or you can do it without a rope.
Yeah.
And you're not going as high. That it's a limit of like 15 feet.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, oh my gosh, Simone Biles like jumps that high. Like, no, thank you. But legitimately, they have the gym floor underneath you, so that if you do fall, it's like cushiony. And
I need like 10 feet of cushioning.
I have like, I think at the very top, I have just been like, okay, maybe I was tired or something like that and fallen, and it was fine. But as far as like actually springing you up, like that's a different story. I don't know.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind that, but too much taller than 15 feet without a rope.
Yeah, I don't
And
even,
someone bigger than me holding the other end of the rope.
I won't even, like, climb up on top of my house. Like, single story, I'm not getting up there. Like, nope. Mm-mm.
I don't
Yeah.
mind it, but
And it's not even that tall. It's like 8-foot ceilings and, like, so a foot higher. So, like, 9 feet up, and I'm like, nope. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I went on a rock climbing trip in college, and it was Red River Gorge, the one in
Yeah.
Kentucky. And that's where I discovered that I was afraid of heights. I didn't know before that. And so all the rest of them, they were rock climbers. They had gone bouldering. They had gone to the indoor gyms and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'll just come. I'll, whatever. Never even attempted to rock climb in my life. And and it's like this, the rock was really cool. I don't even know if it was like sandstone
probably.
or something like that, and it had like a lot of
Granite.
finger holds and stuff. It was a lot of fun, but
Now, was it already set up, or did you have to put your, like, I don't even know what they call calipers or whatever in there to go to the next, or was it already kind of?
so we were there with someone that was like very good at
Yeah.
it and like does that kind of thing. So what he would do is he would climb up he had a rope behind him. So technically if he fell, he would still fall several feet.
Right.
But he was attached to a rope. So he would climb with the rope attached to him, and then he would clip it in as he went up, and then come back down, and then we would be clipped in.
Gotcha.
So he climbed up this one, and it was just straight up. and there weren't, like, a lot of the places had, like, the finger holds. That spot, it just had, like, a crack up the rock. And so he, like, used one hand, like, going up the crack, and then just kind of, I don't even know what he did, but, I mean, it was like 100 feet high or something like that. It took him a couple of hours to get up there, and that was mind-boggling.
Yeah.
The one that I did was, it almost had a little bit of a lean, so I was like, kind of, you know, whatever.
Oh no.
Because I'm a beginner, so I'm like, okay, I want to do an easy one, and it had like really big finger holds, like it was easy to do.
Yeah.
But I got up 15 feet and I started to crumble. I was so panicked, and I was like, I can't do it. And they were like, you're fine, you've got it. And I was like, I can't. I froze. I came back down, and I was like, I can't do it. I'm having fun camping with you guys.
Did you ever watch the speed climbers? Or were they? I mean, there's probably they have to go a certain route, and it's just timed. And like, I mean, there's like leaping and jumping and like finger hold, like barely on, and like just hanging. I mean, those guys that can do that, their grip strength is like ridiculous.
It's so sketchy. It stresses me out watching like documentaries and stuff on free climbers.
I'm always afraid of, you know, yes, you're roped in and but you know, when you drop, you're a pendulum and smacking that wall.
Yeah, that would suck if you fall, even if you were clipped. I mean, you're hitting hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say they're always banged and bruised up. The people that really climb.
Yeah.
I watched that American Ninja Warrior a lot, and a lot of those guys have climber backgrounds and stuff like that, because half that stuff is what it is, and like their training's just like nuts.
Girl I went to high school with was like a pro climber, and she was in the military and everything. Like, she was a very outgoing, athletic person. And like, I seen her all the time, and she had the little bag with the chalk dust and stuff in it, and her backpack even had like all the little climber hooks on the side. And I was like, why do you always have this stuff? And she was like, I go so much, I just keep it with me. Like, okay.
And now a word from our sponsor. Interest rates have been a huge topic in the housing market for quite some time now. CMG Financial is running a program called Rate Rebound that we can buy now and refinance anytime in the next 5 years when interest rates drop for little to no cost. Call or text YARPOD to Norma White with CMG Financial to learn more at 865-898-5000. Tell her YARPOD sent you.
But yeah, speaking of the Ninja Warrior, there's a girl that I follow on Instagram, and she's like a mermaid by profession. And so she's always posting videos of her like climbing on a light pole or just something. She's really into like the rock climbing and the
Parkour.
Parkour. And she was on Ninja Warrior.
Was she?
Yeah.
I'll have to look her up. Those
Yeah.
guys are nuts. And the parkour people are even nuttier.
Oh yeah, they're crazy.
I thought the rock climbers. I almost said it again.
there.
I was like, I thought those guys were nuts, but yeah, those parkour people were hardcore.
Running on the side of buildings that are like 20 stories. And no.
Just all those people are nuts that stand on top of a skyscraper. And I get the people that work and do that stuff, but the thrill seekers.
Yeah, but they're usually harnessed in.
Yeah, exactly. Well, especially now.
The other folks are not.
OSHA.
Yeah.
The crazy people are like skateboarders.
Right. Well, they are crazy.
I'm like, you are just asking to
Yeah.
break your whole body.
Well, those guys,
Crazy.
when they're older, I guarantee they're beat up. I mean, I've got bad knees from motorcycle and stuff like that, but those guys are, everything's probably broken on them at some point in time.
I mean, think about like Steve-O and
Oh, yeah.
Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah,
Like,
Johnny Knoxville's in bad shape.
Yeah,
I listen to his podcast every once in a while.
I'm sure everything is just worn out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and Tony Hawk was talking about recently when he was like, yeah, I just got injured and used to is, you know, whatever, get back up and do it. And he was like, I had to actually rest. I had to recover. He was like, I am not at the age where I can just pick up and do that anymore.
How old is he now, I wonder?
He's got to be in his 50s.
50s?
Yeah. Has to be. Like, if you're beyond 50, I don't think you need to be on a skateboard. Like, you got to be. I mean, if you're like in really good shape, you're all the time exercising and all that, then sure. But
I'm just trying to think.
56.
50. Ooh, he's same age as me.
Ooh. Imagine you on a skateboard.
No.
we're gonna go video that in the parking lot.
No, I might be able to go a straight line, but heaven forbid I hit a rock or something like that. You know, those pebbles are what really get you. That quick stop.
I mean, my husband can do all that, like the longboarding, skateboarding, snowboarding, anything with a board he's good at. But I keep telling him, especially with his mountain bike, I'm like, you are getting too old. You're going to hurt yourself.
I mean, I will go snow skiing. I've never snowboarded. I had friends that would snowboard, and I saw them crack their heads because your butt hits first, and then you hit your head and snaps hard. I've seen that too many times.
And he does tricks, like flips and...
I mean, I grew up, when I was skiing, everyone does... The ski slopes, they hated snowboarders, or they didn't allow snowboarders, and then they slowly liked them, and the skiers hated them and stuff like that, and then became more and more popular and stuff like that. But yeah, I've been to snowshoe with people, and it just hurts me. You know, I think I could do it, but I like my cranium in one piece.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I have enough brain damage.
Yeah, I don't think I could go in a straight line on a skateboard, let alone try to do any tricks and stuff. I've got like no balance.
Yeah, I couldn't do a fakie no, that's not even a thing.
I don't know.
That's the way you ride. No, what's the reverse?
An ollie?
Yeah, I can't do an ollie.
I played Tony Hawk on PS2 Underground. So kick flips and ollies and all that good stuff, I can
Switch
do
was
it.
what I was trying to think of when you.
I don't know
Feet
if
are
any of
opposite.
that counts.
No, not at all. Triangle, triangle, square.
I was like,
Let me tell you, I was pretty dang good at those buttons. I can't even rollerblade, so yeah, there's no chance.
I used to rollerblade.
That I used to be good at that.
I used to be
do
good
that
too.
a lot, but I went last year. We went skating, and that's probably the first time in like I don't know how many years. And I could not do it. When you're older, you think a lot more, and so I was like trying to figure out how to do it, and I'm like, you can't think, you just have to do. And the less I thought about it, the better I got at it. But I finally got brave enough to get out on the ring and go around a couple times. But there were so many people zipping past, I was like, I can't do it.
Yeah, that stresses me out. I'm like, I never learned because I'm just like, oh, there's so many people.
We used to always go roller skating, and then back when I was in the restaurant business, you know, I moved around a lot, so I always lived in an apartment and subdivision and stuff. So I had rollerblades and would rollerblade around the subdivision stuff.
Yeah, I've never been ice skating.
I've been ice skating.
Never done that.
That's even harder because it's a thinner line.
Yeah, I bet.
Kinda, your ankles are.
Oh my gosh, the guy I was literally just talking about, Joanna's husband Mike. When we were in high school, he was on the skating rink and like ice skating, and this girl walked up in flip flops on the ice, and he walked up to talk to them. And when she walked away,
I can only imagine.
She walked away, and there was blood behind her. He chopped her pinky toe off. He picked it up and carried it to her.
Oh.
And was just like, he was like,
I saw that coming. As soon as you said flip flops, I was like,
yeah, cut it off.
Did she not know it?
No, I guess because she was out there and
on ice cold.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
I saw that coming a mile away, and I was like, oh, God.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I thought it was going to be worse than one toe.
I wish I would have been there to actually see it all unfold.
No.
Yeah.
That's just like I cut my thumb on my table saw, and I was afraid to look. Like, I was like holding it.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like at the sink, rinsing it off, and I'm like, I don't want to look. I'm like, okay, it's not that bad. I glued it back together with super glue. It was pretty bad, but.
I completely forgot about that story until right now. Like, that was a really big thing, and in high school, everybody was talking about that after it happened.
Oh, I'm sure. She was famous before.
Yeah.
Well, Facebook might have been around that.
Yeah. It was.
I was going back to my teenage years.
It was just.
God, we didn't have any kind of social media when I was a teenager.
It was just starting to get popular because I think I made my first Facebook account when I was 16, and I still had MySpace at the same time. So it was like I was switching from MySpace to Facebook, and about that time, yeah.
Oh, I would have been in so much trouble.
He was an angry old man even back then. I don't want to switch over to.
I really was. I didn't even want.
I lose all my song list.
I didn't even want MySpace. My cousin made one and took a random picture of me and was like, "Here, you have an account now." And I was like, "You suck."
He's like, I can't pick the song for
Was
my
it
profile.
Was it your
page."
same profile pic you use for everything?
Probably.
He's like, yeah, I just updated it last year when I got a headshot.
Yeah. Literally.
Standing on the steps of the Capitol.
I got locked out of that MySpace, so I'm pretty sure it still exists. With
I
my
can get into mine. I've logged into my MySpace because I have a bunch of photos uploaded. Every once in a while, I get on and download a picture. What you call it? Still my friend
Tom.
Tom. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
No one ever talks about him.
Nope. He disappeared.
Yeah, I'm not rollerblading. I'm not ice skating. I can't ride a bike. So
Hey y'all, Tyler here with your real estate tip of the day. When you're buying raw land with the intention of building a structure, you will need to have a soil map drawn. This map must be conducted by a county-approved soil scientist, and it's used to evaluate the type of soil, the soil density, possibility of shifting, and potential for water absorption. Builders need this when considering setting the foundation footing, and in some cases there's too much risk for settling or shifting and you can't build on that land. If you don't have access to a sewer, then you'll need a septic tank and the drain field. If the soil map shows a high possibility of absorption, then the soil map will suffice and you won't have to go any further. If not, the soil scientist will need to do a percolation test. Basically, they dig several holes, fill them with water, and measure how fast the ground can absorb that water. The rate of absorption will determine whether or not you can have a septic system, and in some cases, unfortunately, you can't. If that's the case, the land may not work for your needs. If you have any questions about this, or questions about other real estate topics, let us know over at holler@yarpod.com.
I'm just useless on wheels.
Never rode a bike?
Not one time.
I think you should do that.
So many people have been like, I'm going to teach you how to do it. And I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're not. It's
Like-
too late.
I know a lot of people that like road race and stuff like that. I have friends that do that, like go on like these big long runs. That to me is dangerous just because of traffic and stuff like that. But, like a leisurely ride around a park or something like that, I feel like it's very safe. But
I mean, at this age, I think I've just accepted that it's not going to happen. And I'm okay with that. I'm at peace with it.
never ever rode a electric bike,
No,
scooter,
no,
motorcycle.
no.
Interesting.
You will not be catching me on wheels unless there's at least 3.
I tried to find it, but I couldn't find it.
Scooter.
Does MySpace still exist?
Yes, it does.
Oh.
I
Okay.
swear to God, I've logged into it.
Well, I
Like,
tried to
pretty
find my old
recently.
page, but I can't. Maybe after so many years of inactivity, they finally.
No, because I mean, it was like forever for me. I mean, like
Yeah, I mean, I got into mine, I think it was like a year or so ago.
it just happened to. I still had access to whatever email I used. That was the biggest thing.
That's why I lost mine back then because my email got locked out. I was in high school. I had like 5 emails.
We know your track record.
No track record.
Oh, I never did finish Micheal Phelps and the shark. Yeah.
Baby shark.
Got distracted. Do not start.
No.
That comes on every like commercial break for cartoon. No. Yeah, so Micheal Phelps and the shark, it was like this big hyped up thing, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, she's going to race a shark. Well, obviously that's not safe. But it was kind of like clickbaity, and people were like really upset about it because
Like
it was
Al
like,
Capone's vault when they. Never mind, that was too early for you guys.
No idea what you're talking about there. This guy.
Geraldo Rivera. They thought they found Al Capone's vault in the 80s or 90s, and it was like on Friday night TV, and there was nothing in it.
I'm sorry you don't have a buddy here closer in age today.
I know. I feel very isolated.
But they did a simulation for the shark.
Oh, really?
Well, I guess they had a shark in like a controlled.
Like beside him, like in a
It wasn't even beside
I
him.
was going this way again. Happy Days when he jumped over the shark tank.
I heard it was
No
like
idea.
jumping the shark is a reference to when they run out of material, but they continue to
It was
put
like
out
their
shows.
last year, and
Yeah.
so that became a thing. Yep.
I did watch Happy Days.
I love Happy Days. That was
Reruns.
Tuesdays. Happy Days, Laverne Shirley,
Was that
Mork and
coming out
Mindy.
when you were...
That was like live, not live, but that was like new episodes whenever I was in high school. So that was 80s.
Oh, I thought it was... Okay, it was... I guess it was based...
It was set in the 50s.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I was like,
Oh,
wait
yeah,
a
no.
second.
They didn't record that in the 50s.
Fonzie. Yeah, because you have Opie. He's probably my age, so yeah.
What's his catchphrase?
Oh, shucks. No, I don't know. Opie?
No,
Oh,
Fonzie.
Fonzie. Yay! He did the thumbs up.
Is that it?
Yeah, he did. There was probably a lot of them.
I can't remember.
Yeah, he was a little bit of a womanizer, but
But anyway, so it was the simulation of the shark. They had it like in a controlled environment, and then they did the simulation beside of Micheal Phelps, and he was in
bummer.
overwater. Yeah. Who do you think won?
Shark.
Probably the shark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, in a
Was it
100
close?
meter race, the shark only won by like 2 seconds.
Huh.
So, I mean,
That's pretty close.
I feel like if it was going like towards something, like it could have gone faster.
yeah, it was probably just
throw
hanging out,
Throw a little chum in the water.
Yeah.
napping or whatever.
I was watching something Saturday. It just happened to come on, and they were like had a drone above them, and they had some sharks like swimming around paddle boarders and stuff like that. They were purposely looking for it, and saying how much they're out there and people never see them and stuff like that. There's 3 people out there that were filming, and like the one girl, even though like they were telling them where it was at, and she never like caught it until like the very end and stuff like that. So it's amazing how much, I don't think they were in very, very deep water too, but they were in California, and it was pretty, like the drone picked it up clearly. Now, I don't know if it was what kind of shark. It wasn't a great white or anything like that, but yeah, it was a little unnerving.
It could be a baby shark, and I'm not getting it. That's why people are like, oh, well, get out in the ocean, like, deeper. And I'm like, even if it's 3 feet of water, I've seen sharks, like, swim in that, like, where they're halfway sticking out of the water. You can count me out, homie. I'm going to be in, like, knee deep. So that way, if someone says, shark, I'm running, and I'll be out of the water in less than, like, 2 seconds. So... You can keep it. You can have it.
You just
Count
need to
me
be
out.
faster than one other person. Same way with bear.
Yeah, trip somebody.
I'm fighting dirty when it comes to that.
It's got to happen to somebody, and I'm not taking that chance.
I mean, what are the chances? Like 1 in a million?
Yeah, but there's still that one. I don't want to be that one.
Yeah.
You drive.
Yeah,
Probably
I have
better,
to.
more of a chance.
I don't have to get out in the water any deeper.
You
Gotta
definitely have a higher risk
Gotta
of
live.
dying in a car wreck than you do getting attacked by a shark.
By like a million.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll agree with that. But
Now, if you're a surfer, blah, 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 out there every day,
Yeah.
your odds probably increase tenfold, but yeah, you got to live.
If you're there
Yeah.
twice a year on vacation,
Yeah.
like,
I mean, I'm not going to purposely put myself in
I
harm's
don't
way.
necessarily
But
feel like I'm not living by not
Yeah.
going deeper in the ocean. So
honestly, like, I don't even, when I'm at the beach, like, I'll spend most of my time on the beach or in the shallow. Like, I don't really go in the water that much. Like, I like to go and do things that are, ocean adjacent.
yes, yes.
I spend a lot of time in the water.
I'm out there, like, looking for shark teeth and stuff. Like, I don't I
Gets
don't,
his metal detector, and I'm the old one.
I was going to rent metal detectors, but they're expensive, so I did not do that.
Mine's in the trunk of my car.
And I don't feel like I would find anything anyway, so.
I get grossed out by even those little teeny tiny fish that are like on the shore. I'm like, oh, don't get near me.
Nibbled on your toes.
Ew, freaks me out.
If the water's clear enough, I really like snorkeling, like being able to actually see stuff.
Oh,
But
and the Caymans, it was awesome. Was it Cayman? Yeah, Caymans. I snorkeled, and you got the big grouper. They're huge. I definitely recommend doing it.
yeah, I'm
It's
dumb.
awesome.
I was snorkeling in the Bahamas, and the water was super clear. A freaking cuttlefish comes up, and I'm like, look at this beautiful thing. And I'm like going to touch it, and they're like, don't touch that. Like, then I realized what it was. It's the blue ring cuttlefish that'll like kill you for touching it.
Yeah,
so,
that's great.
Yeah, no thanks.
Really?
There were two of
like
them, like-
poison?
Yeah, like just like if I would have touched it with my hand and it wanted to, I was pretty much going to be dead.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's like a really strong neurotoxin. And there were two of them swimming right next to each other, and I'm just like, look at that.
No, I do not like jellyfish. I don't think anyone likes jellyfish.
Yeah, no, I don't like jellyfish. I don't want any part
Knock
of
on
it.
wood, I've never been stung, but
Like, they're cool to see on the beach, like washed up, but then I see them and I'm like, I don't want to swim now.
Yeah.
now, I've been Panama and what's the flat ones, the stingrays, like in a school of, and like been standing there and they like separate and all around you. And it's just like I just stood still and just let them go around me. Everyone else ran out, and I was just like, that's very cool, but yeah, I'm not running.
Yeah, they say that they're not super aggressive unless you like
Nah.
actually agitate them.
Unless you step on one.
Yeah, and then that's gonna be fun.
And
Yeah.
then you're Crocodile Dundee, or what's his name?
Steve
Steve
Irwin.
Irwin.
Steve Irwin, yeah. Crocodile. What, he was a crocodile hunter. What was his?
Yeah.
Was that his? Yeah.
Yeah, he did a lot of.
His kids are awesome. They're funny.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think that's a good place to end it. So thank you for tuning in, and don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe, and we will see you all next week.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. If you or someone you know is thinking about buying or selling real estate in East Tennessee, email us at holler@yarpod.com. You can also reach Brittany Hawkins at 423-270-9572, Todd Huber at 865-456-0101, Tyler Letner at 865-816-0076, and Nick Cantey at 865-250-5167. Our office at Wallace Real Estate can be reached at 865-584-4000. Make sure to ask for YARPod. See y'all next week.